There's a part of people we don't usually see, and even if we do, something else hides beneath, waiting to be brought to the light.
Hello, I'm Rock the Jake, and welcome to Game and Think, the show that brings the lesser heard thoughts of a gamer to the front of your attention. I'm a really big fan of the game Persona 4 Golden and of its characters, one of the most interesting being Kanji Tatsumi. Kanji is the center focus for many people because of the perceptions of his sexuality. But he's such a robust character, it brought to mind the thought for this video.
Is Kanji more than his perceived sexuality?
Now, this is some pretty tricky territory, so let me say a few things up front. 1. This video is not meant to be judgmental or condemning to Kanji or anybody who identifies with him. 2. This video is not meant to state his sexuality in any sort of concrete way. And 3. This video is meant to explore his character and discuss parts of him that I feel are often overlooked. And by the way, there will be game spoilers ahead, so watch at your own discretion. So, let's get into the meat of things. We'll first talk about the perceptions of his sexuality.
Many people flock to him as a symbol of homosexuality, and it's easy to see why. His shadow, a distorted version of the self one tries to hide, states very openly that he hates women and wants to find a man. Kanji contests this, and it brings out the root of Kanji's insecurities, his desire for acceptance. Both he and his shadow audibly say this. The strong nod to homosexuality is supported by his initial feelings towards Naoto. Upon first meeting, Kanji blushes a lot, stutters, and shows some confused affection for the boyish person before him. For Kanji, this is one of the rare times where someone has wanted to calmly chat with him instead of rag on him for his interest in quote-unquote girly things. He also mentions later on in his social link that
other me is me.
Seems pretty straightforward, huh? But things get a bit muddled in between, which is great for his character. After finding out later in the game that Naoto is a girl, he still retains his infatuation for her, most clearly evident in a later cutscene where the whole team is on a ski vacation.
So sorry! Sorry.
Kanji knows Naoto is a girl, but is still attracted to her in some way. On top of this, Kanji has been taught for so long that the things he likes aren't manly, and that external stimuli has affected his self-image. The Persona 4 wiki states as follows. He has certain sexuality issues. They are a source of insecurity for him, and they become a running joke throughout the game. At the start of the game, Kanji is scared of showing any potentially feminine interests and compensates with a tough guy facade. His social link reveals that acting tough has often caused a chain of trouble for Kanji, and he wonders how to prevent such things from escalating. By the end of the game, he acknowledges a deeper acceptance and understanding regarding feminine and masculine interests, and points out that his sexual orientation is not really the issue. While his shadow is homosexual, Kanji's sexual orientation is kept ambiguous. It also states that Kanji's shadow is made manifest due to his fear of rejection by either sex, and that upon beating his shadow, he then tells the party it doesn't matter what his sexual orientation is, because he was ultimately scared of being rejected.
It ain't a matter of guys or chicks. I'm just scared shitless of being rejected.
This is by no means a definitive answer, so don't take it as one. But if I were to classify Kanji's sexuality, I'd be more inclined to go with bi-curious. He's clearly trying to figure things out, both on his own and with his new supportive friends. But this all brings me closer to my own point. Kanji's self-worth is affected by his fear of rejection. And in this way, I see Kanji as the perfect symbol for people's teenage years.
Kanji is a 15-year-old teenage boy in high school. If you remember high school at all, you know that 15 is a weird middle time of teenage life, and Kanji is no exception to that. His desire for acceptance is what causes him to put on that tough guy facade so as to hide his hobbies and interests. A lot of us can relate with that behavior, wanting to be cool or to fit in, so we do things we normally wouldn't just for acceptance. Remember, for years he was joked on by girls and adults for his interest in sewing and crafting. Plus, his social link reveals that his desire to be manly comes from his father's last words to be a man. This confused Kanji for a long time. So, with no idea what it meant to be manly, and pretty much nothing but negative feedback on what he liked to do, he did the last thing he could do. Go to extremes of stereotypical manly behavior, such as fighting and shouting a lot.
It's interesting that even though there's so many differences between Japan and the US, both nations view the ideology that young men need to start acting manly at a certain age. It's no wonder Kanji desires acceptance so badly. He needs that that path to find out what being a man means. And fortunately, that acceptance comes in the form of a close-knit group of friends. Solving a murder case. I mean, hey, what do you do on Saturdays?
Persona 4 is a game about accepting the ugly parts of oneself and spinning those parts into something more positive. The The perceptions about Kanji's sexuality are partially a giant distortion caused by his shadow and the negativity of the world around him. He's a confused young man trying to find out what manliness is to him. It isn't until he forms deep friendships with the group and the main character that he finally starts to understand that.
My ultimate point that I want to finish with is this. Kanji is far more than the theories on his sexuality. Just look at the reasons why people love him so much.
His problems go deeper than that, to his psyche and how he views himself in relation to the world around him. But luckily, he never had to go through it alone. Kanji is the perfect example of people's teenage years, not just because of his struggles, but because of his limitless potential. The same potential any one of us has at any given moment of life. You just have to take his advice and do anything that you can at 100%.
Well, I've got to get going. I've got some thinking to do. Peace out.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. This video definitely covered some tricky territory, but I hope I respectfully and adequately made my point about Kanji. But hey, I want to know what you guys think too, so go ahead and type about it in the comments below. Special thanks to all the people who responded to my Twitter request about why they like Kanji so much. It really helped me out, so thank you guys. And hey, if you like my stuff, I would absolutely love it if you just smash that subscribe button. Just smash it! Thank you again so much for watching, and have an absolutely awesome day.